close.
Oh, close. We're
Yeah.
close. We're getting close.
All right.
This is close enough.
No,
Oh my gosh. Okay. Tell us where you're watching from.
never close enough.
If you're new, tell us if you're new.
It could be a song.
What?
Never close enough.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Somebody driving slow past our house. Hello.
Yeah, we're live. Yes.
I think my cousin lives right down the road from us, and she'll say, "I passed by at 7 o'clock, and y'all are just sitting there."
Talking to your phone like crazy people. Yeah, I know. So where are you at right now? Where at in the world? What city?
San Sebastian, Puerto Rico.
What state? What country? Put in the comments where are you watching from.
North Carolina, New
All
Jersey,
right, all
Austin, Texas, Georgia.
Any neighbors watching?
You might hear our baby dinosaur in the background.
That's baby.
There he is.
Yeah. He's hanging out with his beautiful, intelligent grandmother.
We're in the process of working on it. Actually, you want to give an internet update?
Yeah, so I have retained a service that is in the next 4 weeks ish. We should have fiber internet. So we're talking about gigabyte speeds. So we can go live on 27 platforms and have crystal clear 8K
Yeah.
high def.
Screaming internet.
Yeah.
Screaming fast.
So thank you so much for putting up with our fuzziness and our jerkiness and our, when we do that, that didn't really just happen. I just faked it.
Winter Garden, Florida.
Hey, that's your old stomping ground.
That's right. Lexington, Tennessee. Hey, neighbor. Yeah.
Hey, neighbor.
Okay, so we're a little fuzzy. I'm sorry, but just keeps you from seeing our wrinkles. So you're welcome.
Yeah, I've got a blemish. I'm glad it's fuzzy. I don't want you to see it.
All right, guys. So tonight we're going to do the same old. Take some questions.
1 solid hour of taking every single question from you that we can. Don't interrupt me.
That's misleading. People hear that first part.
Every single question.
People hear that first part.
Every single question that we are able to answer, we will answer in the next hour. And we might just go longer tonight. I don't know. I'm feeling froggy. How about you? That's a no.
My voice is feeling froggy.
You sound a little froggy.
My voice is different.
Green powder, so lots of pollen.
Yes. I think our feed's gonna be crap. It's also been raining all day long, so that interferes with things.
Yeah, just put down the screen and listen to it as a podcast. Don't look at us. Look away.
Okay. This person is just being annoying.
Oh.
Okay. Cutting in an egg connection.
Awesome. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Hang with us. Bear with us. Within the next few weeks, we will have the internet situation fixed. Hopefully forever, and then we'll never have to have this conversation again.
Michelle, how long should I expect healing for skin, not sunburn, and allergies? I'm 9 months in, and I still struggle with skin conditions.
Yeah, so it can take weeks for some people, and that's not fair, but that's just how it is. Other people, it takes many months. We've talked to people who it took a year or two, you have to be eating a low carbohydrate enough diet for your personal physiology. So if I were eating 50 total grams a day keto, I would not be nearly at the place that I'm at today by eating carb. Now, which is essentially zero carb. Now, not everybody needs to eat carnivore. Some people can heal just fine on 20 grams of carbs a day or 50 or whatever works for you. But you might consider cutting the carbohydrates in half, getting rid of all the liquid dairy, and getting rid of any of the high oxalate vegetables and nuts, high lectin vegetables and nuts, because for a lot of people with skin conditions, that's the thing that's keeping you from healing.
Okay. Mel says, can eating too much fat every day take a negative effect?
Fat's good for you if you're getting it from good, healthy sources like animal fat, avocado, coconut, olive fat. Those are good fats. They're good for you. Human beings were made to eat them. So don't be afraid of good, healthy fats. Now, I do want you to avoid canola oil, bean oil, sunflower oil, peanut oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, vegetable oil, margarine. Those things are really bad for you. And don't forget, they're now marketing margarine as
plant butter.
Plant butter.
Doesn't that just sound nice?
Yeah, and so from plants.
Tony says, is boar's head liver an okay source for nutrition as I learned to like liver?
100%. Yes, you can eat Braunschweiger, boar's head. You can eat liver cheese. Actually, a lot of people don't know, but the cheapest spotted meat and deviled ham, a lot of times they'll have organ meats in them. They think they're tricking you by selling you something that you don't know is in there, but actually you want to eat the organs, so that's a good thing.
Rossolo. Happy early May the 4th be with you. Been carnivore 3 months. I have tons of gas. Why? Not much dairy and no chicken. I eat mostly bacon and steak and sausage.
Maybe from some of the seasonings, or maybe there's some sugar in the sausage. Not sure. Read those ingredients carefully. Acid, much less gastrointestinal complaints than they did before they went carnivore. But everybody needs to understand there's a distribution curve for every single symptom, every single lab value. There will be some people who will still have gas on a carnivore diet, but most people will have much, much less gas on a carnivore diet.
Kelly, I saw a new non-keto doctor. Just wanted to get a CGM prescription and I had success, but she wants to order labs for next visit. What should I ask to include?
Yeah, and so there's several videos I talk about all the labs you need. I don't want to waste our Q&A time giving you the list of labs, but just check out my other YouTube videos and I answer the question for you.
Nick says, thanks Dr. Berry for all you do. What's your opinion on carb cycling every few months of keto to keep metabolic flexibility?
Yeah, so you definitely do not have to carb cycle to keep your metabolic flexibility. You are always going to be able to burn carbohydrates for fuel. That's your body of cheesecake, cherry covered cherry pie. You're going to spike your blood sugar, and that's because your body can still break that stuff down. So don't think you have to carb cycle. Now, if you want to carb cycle once every 3 months or something, I don't think that's going to cause much problem or damage or inflammation, but you don't ever need to carb cycle.
Tony, is carnivore safe for polycystic kidney disease? My eGFR is 86 and I have microalbuminuria.
Yeah.
I have been keto and intermittent fasting for 9 weeks and have lost 27 pounds.
Beautiful.
My doc says too much animal protein is bad.
Yeah, tell your doc to print you out the research paper that shows that, because there's not one. It doesn't exist. Animal fat is good for your kidneys. Even healthy plant fats are good for your kidneys, like the fats I mentioned earlier. Polycystic kidney disease is actually one of the things that will almost go into complete regression with a 6 months of carnivore. Rescan your kidneys, all the cysts. Your cysts are much smaller, are gone completely. Keep us updated.
Hey Rads, I'm 6'6", 485 pounds. My blood pressure is 155/105, and I want to start carnivore. How long will it take to get my blood pressure normalized?
So to get it back to a normal level is going to take anywhere from several weeks to a couple of years. Everybody's different, but what you're going to notice when you go carnivore is that your blood pressure immediately starts months to 3 years to get back to normal. That long you've been metabolically unwell, all those things are factored into the equation. So I can't give you a date when your blood pressure will be back to normal, but I can promise you that it will start to return towards normal in a week or two after you've started carnivore, and you'll be able to see this on your home blood pressure monitor.
And certain antidepressants can cause nutrient deficiencies. I heard beta blockers lower zinc and affect testosterone. Yeah,
and they also can raise your blood sugar. There are a lot of these prescription medications. The doctors don't give you full disclosure of everything that they do. Statins are another great example. They completely deplete your coenzyme Q10. They raise your blood sugar. They lower your health hormone level. You need to have a conversation with your doctor and say, why didn't you tell me that I needed a zinc? Why did you not tell me that I needed to keep an eye on my testosterone and my blood sugar? You didn't tell me any of that stuff. Why didn't you tell me that? And I think that's a conversation every patient, statin or a blocker or these other medications, work by causing this artificial situation in your physiology.
Milwaukee says, what is your heavy lifting workout plan?
I don't ever lift weights. I never work out. I never go to the gym. I have a chainsaw and I have 20 acres of forest that I'm clearing out. And so that's my, I think lifting weights is excellent for you in hundreds of different ways, but I get bored to death in the gym. I'd much rather be improving the farm and opening up some silvopasture than, pumping iron at the gym. That's just my personal preference.
Thank you, Julie. If anybody in the comments wants to give an update on the internet so we don't have to spend any more time explaining that, that'd be great. Yeah. Tylin says, I'm 29, I'm experiencing frequent urination and my inability to hold it. It's not a UTI because it's not a help.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you're having a diuresis, or, you know, you're making a lot of urine. There's multiple causes for this, and this is probably the reason that you should see your doctor. You may have just been holding, you're now being able to urinate that away. But I get that you're worried that there's something else going on, and I think 100% you should go see your doc and just get some routine labs checked, including your analysis.
Been keto for 3 months, started intermittent fasting. C-peptide is 1.9. I have found that my body still has blood sugar running 110 to 135 despite keeping my carbs below 10. Total is common.
It is common for some people, not everyone. What I want you to do is get your hemoglobin, what your blood sugar is, as long as it's within a reasonable range. What we care about is your blood glucose. Tells us. It looks like, and we're getting tons of feedback from people that when they fast for long term, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, their sugar in the morning, it can go up into the 130s. And that happens daily when they're fasting. And then also people who are carnivore notice sometimes that their blood sugar is above 100. But invariably, when they go get their hemoglobin A1C checked, it's in the low 5s, 5.2, 5.3. And so it looks like that the glucose that your liver makes appropriately when you need it is not nearly as glycating to your cells and tissues as glucose that you shove into your face.
Andy, high berries, some symptoms, headache, blank spots, and vision. Slurring words, numbness in lips and hand. Are these temporary, or am I doing too much fasting or keto?
Yeah, it could be an electrolyte abnormality, but you need to see your doctor for any. I mean, those are. I'm not saying having a stroke. I'm just saying those are stroke-like symptoms. You need to see your doctor.
Crystal, thank you, Crystal. All right, let's see here. Robert, I've been carnivore for 4 months. I've lost 31 pounds. I have diverticulitis and had 18 inches of it removed. What foods cause diverticulitis? My number 2 is never solid carnivore. How can I fix this?
So diverticulitis, I've got a YouTube video about that goes into more detail about the causes. A lot of people, when they first convert to carnivore, gut has been literally mechanically altered permanently by having that section removed. Even if that's the case, and so I would suspect you would have diarrhea even if you went back to eating a standard American diet. When you pumped up the fiber enough, there'd be so much solid, non-digestible fiber that it would give your stool seeming bulk, but that's just because you're eating a lot of cardboard that you can't digest and poop it out.
Homemade carnivore crisps. So if you don't know what carnivore crisps are, I've got a bag right here. They're meat chips and they're very crunchy, crispy, very similar to.
Which one's that?
This is brisket, but they have all kinds. I do have a discount code. It's just Berry, Berry. I think gives you something very, very similar on your own. I'm going to be doing a video on my channel. I have a channel too, so if you're not over there, go check it out. Neisha loves it. Yep. And it's almost so simple. It does take forever. So if you're going to do it in bulk. But yeah, I will be doing a video, Mark, so hang on.
These things, I can't even describe to you how delicious they are. Neisha made some, what did you make today?
I made lamb nachos.
Lamb nachos.
Yeah.
And so instead of using chips, because obviously chips are brisket chips, and they're 100% meat plus salt, and that's it. And those are the best freaking.
And they were amazing. Okay, I'm really having a hard time still staying on here because every other comment is, this is the worst live ever.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Stick with us. We're going to have it fixed in a few weeks.
The road ahead. Does having very high cholesterol on the carnivore diet put you at more risk for heart problems? I'm not planning to go.
.com. This is our friend Dave Feldman. He's doing tons of research. There are some of us, including who are what we call mass hyper-responders, and we have very high total cholesterols and very high LDLs when we eat a proper human diet. And the current, if you go see your doctor, that'll scare the crap out of them. They'll think you're at any minute. But what we're actually finding when we're able to get access to the real data behind these huge studies, is that actually people with high cholesterol tend to live longer and have less cancer. So I'm not worried about my high cholesterol, and I would say you probably don't need to worry about it as well.
Jim says, since the end of February, I'm down 40 pounds. Boom. Thanks for all you do. My meal today was liverwurst topped with melted cheddar and bacon Alfredo sauce.
Oh, nice.
That sounds amazing.
Very nice.
Thank you, Autumn. Okay, yeah. Your internet's bad. We got it. Thanks.
Yes.
You just stop.
It is bad. We know. We're sorry. We apologize.
Blue Dove. I started beef heavy carnivore on May 1st, Dr. Berry, and I've lost 8 pounds just in the last month on ketovore.
That's
well
it.
Done.
Keep it up.
Crystal. Can someone who is hypoglycemic do carnivore, and how can they start safely?
Yeah, so start slow. Fewer carbohydrates each meal and each day. You're going to find that you don't have those. Sugar will be hardcore right as rain. You just won't have hypo episodes anymore.
Catherine, is it normal to have bruising or a broken blood vessel appearance in your skin when you start carnivore? I'm not sure if I should be worried.
No, that's not normal. You might want to see your doctor about that. Most people's blood vessels get stronger on carnivore. Most people's skin gets thicker because the carnivore diet moves all of your hormones, your sex hormones and your other hormones in the right direction. And many people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s say, my skin looks better. It's thicker now. I don't bruise as easy. So either you haven't been on carnivore long enough to have that effect.
Prove says, how are you losing more weight? Neisha, I'm not. I haven't lost weight in a year, but I'm not trying to either. I just eat what I want as much as I want, and I haven't moved a pound in literally a year since lockdown.
So you don't portion control?
No.
You don't calorie restrict?
No.
And you haven't gained any weight in a year? You just eat till you're full?
Yes.
That's revolutionary.
Crazy, right?
I love that. That's a great idea. I should do a YouTube video.
Yeah, Starlink is not available here, or we would already be
I'm on the sign up list. We're supposed to be getting fiber internet from AT&T in the next month, give or take, and that's supposed to fix everything. But I'm also on the waiting list Starlink when it's available in our area, just in case. Because I'm as sick of this as you are, I promise.
Autumn. Day 15 into carnivore, I've noticed that when on my when she's on her cycle, is that normal during menstruation? Yeah, some women get meat aversions in their first trimester of pregnancy. Some women have it, not many, but a few have it the week before they start their cycle. It's hormones, isn't it? It's all about the hormones. I think it's similar to when you're pregnant. Yeah, you get a surge of hormones and you have an aversion. Yeah, you get switched to fish and eggs, or whatever kinds of carnivore foods that you can still eat during that time. That's not going to affect your progress much at all. But I have bile and acid diarrhea. It's suggested I eat low fat. Binders don't work for me. Any suggestions to help with the diarrhea? Yeah, people who go carnivore have diarrhea for a week or 2 or 3 sometimes. Some people don't have it at all. If you continue to have this abnormal diarrhea, you need to see your doctor. All right. Thanks, everyday truck breaks down. Sorry, your truck breaks down every day. Sorry about your truck, man. Kelly, I'm ketovore. Did the Thyroid gut test. It shows low in some good bacteria and that I should avoid beef, lamb, egg, chicken, fish, salt. Yeah. Will spore probiotics help this? Maybe, but maybe not. More and more, we're finding that when we actually get the stool sample test for your gut microbiome, that's not even really testing your true microbiome. That's just all that tests for is the bacteria that's in your poop, which can actually be quite different than the bacteria that's clinging to your large intestinal walls. So I wouldn't put a lot of faith in the stool tests. You need to eat the proper human diet. Coffee, what more can I do? You want to take that? For some reason, it's common in women who do carnivore to gain what's increasing, your muscle mass is increasing, that sort of thing. I encourage you to take measurements, stick with it. Often they feel amazing. So. Yep. A good person to follow is Kelly Hogan. She has a channel called My Zero Carb Life over on her YouTube channel. She does a lot of videos, and she had that happen to her, and she's a huge success with the carnivore. So. Yep, absolutely. People forget that muscle shows up on the scale, and that increased bone density shows up on the scale.
It's just fat that your scale is weighing. It's all of you.
Theo, successfully ketovore for 1 year. How much potassium and salt digest daily to lower pressure? Mine runs 140/95. Keep up the great work.
So it sounds like you're doing great, and you've probably lowered. Want more salt? Use more salt. If it tastes too salty, don't put that much next time. And then I would use a potassium replacement, like Keto Chow's Electrolyte Drops or Keto Chow's Mineral Drops, which also have all the electrolytes in them as well. If you get more potassium during a single day than your body can use in a urine, it's not in any way dangerous. It's not like taking a medicine, taking too much of a prescription. Your body's just going to pee it out if you take too much. So get plenty.
Male to female transgender treatment, will that slow down?
For some people, it can completely stop their fat loss. Other people, it just slows it down a little bit. They still make gains of eating the proper human diet. You are still getting all the other benefits, but the scale may just move slower than you'd like for it to.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I went too fast. All right. Every day my truck breaks out. He also has bruising. Is this from carnivore, or how do you explain this?
No, it's either genetic. Some people just have thinner skin and they bruise easier, or you have another condition that you haven't been diagnosed with yet, and that's why you need to see your doctor about the bruising. The carnivore diet is going to help to move all your hormones in the right direction, which is going to make your skin.
I got checked out for heart palpitations. Doc says everything is fine. I wonder if it's an electrolyte issue or keto adaptation.
Yep.
Keto 1 month down, 30 pounds. Well done.
Yeah, beautiful.
Good
Yeah,
job.
it could absolutely a magnesium, potassium, or calcium issue. You're not getting enough. And again, the electrolyte drops, mineral drops from Keto Chow are great for that. Also, some people when they enter ketosis initially, it's almost like their is on NOS. Remember NOS, right? For your like your heart's like boom. What is this new energy? And so you can have palpitations for a while, but it tends to calm down and go away for a while. I'm glad you went to the doctor and got it checked out to make sure nothing else is going on. That was wise.
Jean has been carnivore for a year, had a lot of weight.
Hair, that's just normal. That happens with any diet that you lose a lot of weight real fast with. I actually have a YouTube video explaining why this happens and what you can expect in the future. So check that out. Just search Dr. Berry hair loss.
Neisha, how did your 24-hour fast go? Fine. Don't feel like I need to do that. I'm at maintenance. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to autophagize anything. Fasting benefits for me. I think 19 to 20 hours is enough, which is generally where I stay. Yeah. But it was fine. Yeah. But extended fasting is like not my jam.
Yeah, I think fat benefits everybody. But with that said, not everybody needs to fast for longer than 18, 20 hours a day. People need it. Some people, it's optional.
Alexander, I'm getting broken vein vessels on keto. Why?
Yeah.
There's a lot of vein.
Keto's not going to cause your skin to get thinner. Some powders and creams and pies and bars and cookies. And maybe you're not getting the nutrition. But if you're keto, when I say keto, guys, I mean lots of fatty meat and some vegetables. That's keto, meat and veg, okay? And so if your keto is not meat and veg, then that may be why you're just not getting enough nutrition. But otherwise, if you're eating meat and veg, you're going to be getting every nutrient you need to make strong, healthy skin and veins.
Leah, my 10-month-old was just diagnosed with type 1 on Wednesday. Do you have any tips? I need help. He's already on 0.05 units at night and 1.5 during the day basal.
Yeah, so your little one's going to need exogenous insulin, probably for the rest of their life. Now, there is some hope. Once we're able to replicate beta cells using stem cells in the pancreas and make new nests of beta cells that make insulin, then that'll be a cure. But that might be 3 years or 30 years in the future. Nobody knows for sure. But in the meantime, just remember, the lower the carbohydrate diet your little one eats, the less insulin they'll have to inject, number one. And number two, the less dangerous hypoglycemic episodes they'll have and the less hyperglycemic episodes they're going to have. You need to buy Dr. Bernstein's Diabetes Solution book tonight. Get it on Audible so you can start listening to it right away, because once you understand the principles in that book, you're going to be able to give your little one the gift of a normal hemoglobin A1C for the rest of their life. And when a type 1 diabetic has a normal A1C every time it's checked every 3 or 6 months, their risk of having those terrible complications you've read about plummet. They go almost back to baseline. It's only when they're using lots of insulin and still having high blood sugars, that's when the damage starts to build up.
Mohammed wants to know, isn't the Weston A Price diet better than carnivore?
The Weston A Price diet is very similar to keto or carnivore, either one. And I don't think it's a bad choice. If you want to do Weston A Price diet instead of keto or carnivore, I think you could do much worse than that. Okay, for some people, keto seems to work better. Other people are huge proponents of Weston A Price, his diet recommendations, and he was a genius, and so I'm never going to say a bad word about him. Try it for 3 months, and then try keto for 3 months, and see which one helps you feel better.
The road ahead says, if you're a carnivore with high LDL, even though that's not dangerous in itself, is it risky to have cheat days?
Well, anytime you have a cheat day, you're going to raise your blood sugar and you're going to raise your insulin and you're going to cause a little bit of inflammation. Now, if you have a cheat day on your anniversary and your birthday and Christmas, that's not that big of a deal, right? But if you're having a cheat day every other day or once a week, then over the years, that's going to add up to some damage. So you make the decision on that, but I don't have too many cheat days myself.
Adam, Hashimoto's hypo, doing ketovore. My antibodies are down. TSH is 4.8, T4 is 0.8. I'm super clean with my diet for a decade. Should I suck it up and start taking medications because the TSH is up?
Yeah, your TSH is still a little high. I'm afraid that you probably need to take, and it's not a medication, it's a thyroid replacement hormone because your thyroid's having trouble making enough.
Darnell says, can too much fasting slow your metabolism?
Yes, too much fasting, but doing a daily intermittent fast or an occasional 3-day fast, there's actually significant, meaningful research showing that actually increases your metabolic rate, makes you burn hotter, not lower your metabolic rate. But now if you're going to do a 20-day fast and you're going to do that once a month, that's probably going to lower your metabolic rate.
We're just going to call this G because I can't pronounce it. I have aggressive prostate cancer, opted for surgery instead of radiation. I'm nervous. What can I do to prep to heal as quickly as possible and reduce post-op side effects?
Yeah, you need to eat a proper human diet. Lots of fatty meat. You definitely, even if you don't like liver and heart, you need to incorporate some liver and heart into your diet. Sardines with the bone in and the skin on. You need the most nutrient-dense foods you can get your hands on so that you can help your body heal and fight as much as you possibly can.
Bach, what's the reason for chronic sticky poops if I'm eating only beef and green veggies for 6 months? Do you have any tips?
Some people have sticky poop. Yeah, I've got a YouTube video about what's wrong with my poop. That'll help answer a lot of questions for you.
Now I have a comment that says, wow, your internet's perfect now. Yeah, welcome to the boonies, okay?
Oh, it's good now. Oh, okay.
Give us a minute.
Excellent.
It'll be back to bad.
Our internet here in the woods has to build a fire first, like some kindling, and it has
to bounce off a lot of towers. Okay?
Yeah, it has to build up.
My wife is on keto. She's been on keto for 3 years. Blood pressure averaging 148/98 for a while. Is there a natural way to bring this to normal levels? History of high blood pressure in the family.
She's doing keto?
Yes, 3 years now.
Yeah, I would try 3 months of a carnivore diet, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, and see what that does. If that fixes it, and then she says, no, I love this diet, I could stay on this forever, then that's your solution. If she says, I can't eat keto, carnivore forever, then she may wind up having to take a very small dose of one blood pressure medicine a day to get that blood pressure down another 5 or 10 points. And there are probably 10% of the population out there that even if they eat a proper human diet and they're very active, their blood pressure is going to be just above the normal, and they're going to have to take that little low dose of one blood pressure pill to get their number down under the normal threshold.
Thank you, Dana. Right. Todd says 30 pounds lost on carnivore. My blood glucose declined from 130 to 85. Nice. Can you comment on fat loss and reducing the size of lipomas? My PCP tells me that the fat in lipomas is virtually inaccessible.
Well, Your doctor's right. There is a pseudo capsule around lipomas, but we've had so many people reach out to us on social media and say, I had multiple large lipomas and they are substantially smaller now on keto or carnivore. Lipomas definitely have a blood supply, so they definitely have access to your metabolism and your physiological processes. If you cut off the blood supply to a lipoma, it'll die. It's not an immortal little bunch of cells that lives there with no nutrition. It has to eat what you eat. And so your doctor's partially right, partially wrong, but I would say eat as low carb as you can, lots of fatty meat, and see if those lipomas won't shrink, as we've had many other people tell us that theirs did.
Andrew, will you research the vitamin A toxicity research that Grant Genro did? You have a video on vitamin A toxicity, don't you?
Yeah, I definitely will. Let me see where to send a link. If you'll look, there's a Gmail address in the show notes of every YouTube video. Send that to that Gmail address, and I'll check that out.
But don't blow it up with a bunch of lab questions, because we can't.
Yeah, we can't answer lab questions on the email.
Adam, if I start thyroid hormones and get my thyroid numbers corrected, is it possible for thyroid to actually heal and for me to get off of them? And what's your opinion on NDT?
Yeah, it does happen, but it doesn't happen for everyone. Most everyone eating keto or carnivore, they're able to decrease the amount of thyroid replacement hormone that they need. Some people can come off it altogether, sometimes temporarily, sometimes permanently. But some people, I'd say 70% of people, they can take a lower dose, but they still need to take a little thyroid replacement hormone. NDT, I think, is a great try. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Vanessa, what's the first thing a person should eliminate to improve arthritis?
Sugar and liquid dairy and grains and vegetable oils. Those four things help almost any inflammatory arthritis condition, skin condition, or gut condition start to get immediately better. Grains, sugar, vegetable oils, and liquid dairy.
All right. Michelle wants to know, do you eat pork chops on carnivore?
Sure.
You can?
Yeah,
you
we had some just the other night.
Any animal protein. Just a lot of people like to stick to beef, but I don't. And he doesn't, and a lot of people don't. We fluctuate. But
yeah, my carnivore diet is mostly beef, but I definitely have pork. And so really my carnivore is 97% beef and pork. That's what it is. And then I'll have some fish. I'll have a little chicken, not much. Chicken doesn't agree with me. What else do I eat?
Seafood.
And then seafood, yeah, occasionally, yeah.
All right. Melissa, can you take too much magnesium while you're pregnant, and will this affect the baby?
If you take too much magnesium while you're pregnant or at any stage in your life, you're going to have diarrhea. And that's how you'll know you're taking too much magnesium. If you are about to go into labor, then taking too much magnesium might affect the intensity of your contractions, and you don't want that. And so hopefully by the time you go into labor, you've already learned what's too much magnesium for you. So if you're taking magnesium and you don't have loose stools, you're taking a good dose.
Yeah. Herman, does low dose aspirin bring blood pressure down? And should I take it as a preventative for heart disease because I've had heart surgery, a quadruple bypass in the past?
No to the first question. Ask your doctor on the second question. Most doctors these days are not recommending the baby aspirin a day for primary prevention of heart attack anymore because the side effects outweigh the potential benefit. But for secondary, and in your case, I mean, you've had some heart events in the past. Your cardiologist may say, yes, I understand there's risk with the baby aspirin, but you still are going to have more benefits than risk because of your risk factor profile.
In carnivore or keto, if we are facing constipation, can I take magnesium citrate supplements or any other things to help?
100%.
Can carnivore diet help with gum recession?
This is something I keep getting comments from people that their gingivitis, that their periodontal disease, that their gum recession, it gets better. especially the inflammation, the bleeding, the swelling, the tenderness of the gums gets drastically better on carnivore. Now, I'm not saying that your gums are going to grow all the way right back up to the notch where they should be, but just stopping the inflammation and stopping the gum recession from continuing is a huge victory. So basically what you're almost guaranteed of is you're going to stop the recession right where it's at. You may have some regrowth, you may not, but definitely, you know how you have bleeding every time you brush, your gums are inflamed. That stuff is going to get better and go away.
Skeeter, do you have any videos for young women who want to be mothers but aren't getting their periods? I'm trying to convince my sister to go keto.
Yeah, I've got videos about PCOS, which is a very common cause of this. I've got one or two videos with Dr. Kiltz, who's a fertility specialist. That's all he does for a living, where we talk about this exact same thing. So check out those videos on this YouTube channel, and I think that'll help a lot.
Darlene says, I need suggestions as how to switch my 9-year-old son to a keto way of eating without focusing on his weight.
Yeah, don't mention his weight. Do it lovingly, gently, and slowly. I would say do it over the next 6 months. Don't make a big deal about it. Don't say we're going to eat keto in this house and that's it. Every time you go to the grocery, forget to buy the Cheetos, but instead buy something keto. No Cheeto, get the keto, right? And every time you go to the store, you're going to forget one more junk, factory-made, chemically processed crap that you used to buy, but you're going to get a lovely keto replacement. And then if he's not hungry, he can go outside and play until he does get hungry. But do it very gently and lovingly, and don't make it about his weight at all. Just say, I'm sorry, we're trying to eat more healthy.
I'm assuming you eat actual meals and not just packaged things that you have to replace with keto products. Just make a keto version and don't tell him. He's not going to be able to tell. 90% of the time it tastes better, actually. If he likes meatloaf, I have a meatloaf recipe. I have a chicken nugget recipe. Maria Emmerich has 100,000 recipes that are alternative versions of things that kids like. And a lot of her recipes are free on her blog. So.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's no excuse not to convert your child to keto, but it does not have to be a fight. It should not be a fight. It also should not be an ultimatum. Just you're the adult, you're the parent, you're in charge. Make the changes slowly, gradually, but definitely make the changes.
Yeah, and he's 9, you know, so it's...
He can't drive.
Well, he's not going to be paying attention to how you cook it. He's just going to pay attention to how it tastes unless you point it out.
Right. Don't point it out. Just put it on the table.
All right. Ron, any advice for someone who is type 2 and has been very low carb for 7 years but still has A1C problems?
Yeah, go lower carb. There are some people out there who have to be carnivores in order to get a normal hemoglobin A1C. Also, make sure your doctor checks a C-peptide and a fasting insulin. I keep running across people online who are misdiagnosed as a type 2 diabetic when really they're a type 1 diabetic. And the average primary care doctor has no idea that if they can detect whether somebody's type 1 or type 2 by checking a C-peptide and a fasting insulin. With those two tests, I can know immediately are you type 1 or type 2, because if you're type 2, if you're type 1, you could eat carnivore, 100% carnivore, and you're still going to need some insulin. Your blood sugar is still going to be high. So make sure your doctor checks a C-peptide. That's going to be your answer, and then you got to cut the carbs more.
Meggie, I've done keto and now carnivore and OMAD. I find the back of my throat feels like I have a hair or some sort of food in the back of my throat. Any idea what's causing this?
Nope. Sorry.
Go to the doctor.
I don't
it's
know
very strange.
What causes a tickly hair in the back of your throat when you eat a particular diet.
Steven, I get AFib when transitioning from glucose into keto adaptation. When I take MCT or honey, my heart goes back into normal rhythm. Also, I've had veins burst in my hands. What is up with there's a lot of vein issues today.
I don't know.
No,
when you're eating a diet that gives you every single building block that your veins and skin are made of, whereas before you were eating a crap junk diet made in a chemical factory, there's no way that your veins were healthier eating the standard American diet than they are eating a proper human diet.
Keto Nana. Okay, I didn't know if her book was out yet. So Maria has a book that's just for kids. I think it's called Sugar Free Kids.
Beautiful.
And I think it's available now.
Beautiful.
So go. It should be on Amazon. I'm assuming. Question: what food would you introduce first to a nursing baby? What age would you stay? So
take it away.
Our baby started, eating real foods at 4 months old. He did have 2 teeth, but that's not why we started him. If a baby can sit up and put something in his mouth, sit up on his own, that's the time you can introduce foods. There's a book called Baby Led Weaning, which I don't agree with the nutrition, but the overall how-to, I do. It helped us a lot. So we did, hey Granny Berry, yes, she is here. We did sliced beef, big enough that his little chubby fist could, just gnaw on it.
Yep.
Beef ribs with the meat pretty much gone. He'd get our leftovers. Avocado, scrambled eggs
yep.
with cheese and butter.
Yep.
And that's what he started on. And so there's not really a set time. It's whenever the baby can sit up on their own and put something from the table into their mouth.
And there's really no need to puree food for babies.
Have
you ever put your finger in a baby's mouth and they have no teeth at all? They can bite the snot out of you. With their gums are very hard. They can bust up little pieces of food. So don't think it has to be pureed. It doesn't. They can eat straight off your plate.
I say Granny Berry's in here, but she may have got pissed off at the internet and threw the laptop down, and she may not be here anymore, for all I know.
Yeah, she had a long discussion with me last week about the quality of my internet.
Yeah, so. Eric says, I've been drinking the Ketorade 2 times a day. I get dizzy, head tingles when drinking in the morning with skipped breakfast. Am I getting too much potassium?
So if you get dizzy when you drink the Ketorade, then don't drink the Ketorade anymore.
Is that the only thing that is causing it?
Yeah, I mean, just drink less Ketorade if it's making you dizzy.
Tyler, I have vitiligo. Will carnivore or keto help with vitiligo?
Yeah, actually Joe Rogan has vitiligo, and he noticed that it improved substantially when he was doing his carnivore diet experiment. I don't know if he's still carnivore or not, but we've had multiple people reach out to us on social media and tell us when they're eating carnivore that they can actually see the pigmentation coming back around the edges of their vitiligo lesions, and that the lesions are getting smaller. Now, I haven't talked to anybody who's has cured their vitiligo. They still have vitiligo, but their depigmented spots get noticeably smaller when they're eating carnivore.
Deborah says, you guys rock. I lost 77 pounds this past year. I have a question. My son just went into the USN, the Navy, right?
Yep.
He gained 30 pounds with the poor food choices. That just makes me so angry that our men and women in uniform,
they have to eat to the USDA guidelines.
Horrible food choices. Anyways, what's a good place to help him start? He is cooking now.
Oh, a young man like that, he needs to just go carnivore, get it over with. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, all the ribeye, all the ground beef, all the sirloin, all the beef ribs, and literally just eat as much meat as he can hold. He'll drop that weight in a few weeks or a couple of months.
Especially with, I'm sure he's very active.
Very young and active, yeah. He'll drop that in no time on carnivore.
Is it okay for someone who doesn't eat eggs to do the carnivore diet?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I would, if you can't eat eggs, I would really try to get some organ meat. Really try to eat some sardines or anchovies with the bone in and the skin on. That way you're getting all of the good fats that you need that you might still be able to get on just a meat-only carnivore diet, but I worry about that a little bit. A little extra insurance is to eat the egg yolks or eat the liver and the sardines.
All right. Carnivore since October. This is from Kimberly. Great results, but tried cooked spinach and saw it in the toilet the next day. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Vegetables are evidence food, and if you're from the South, you know what that means. The only things that we have ever found in Beckett's diaper, who's now 19 months old, he's eaten every form of meat known to man, and he's eaten avocado, he's eaten olives. He loves olive stuffed with blue cheese. He loves capers, but when he eats nuts, he likes cashews. That's the only nut he likes, and we give him some because they're pretty decent food, but we will find cashews in his diaper. That is, never have we found a hunk of ground beef or fish or chicken.
Because his body doesn't use any of it. Just comes right out.
There's a ton of fiber and undigestible things in plants that some of us just can't digest, and that's why we call that evidence food, because you see evidence of what you ate in the turlet.
Alexander, I have Keratosis Pilaris on my arms. Can keto help with this? You have a video about that, don't you?
I'm not sure. I know I've researched one, but I don't remember if I made it or not. That's crazy. I've got so many YouTube videos. But Keratosis Pilaris is 100% related to hyperinsulinemia. And if you're like, okay, I don't know what that means, then you got some YouTube videos to watch about hyperinsulinemia. But once you get your hyperinsulinemia fixed, and the way you fix it is by eating a very, very low carbohydrate diet. Once your insulin comes back to normal, the keratin plugs start to within months, they're gone.
Iona says, I had chemo for endometrial cancer that ended in October. The doctors okayed me to start a weight loss diet now, keto or carnivore.
Yes.
Either one.
Whichever one you think sounds the most delicious. If you're 100% fine with eating nothing but meat, carnivore. If you want some veg every now and then, keto. But that spectrum is the proper human diet, and that's where you're going to realize the most healing and recovery.
Jill says, I've had a CPAP for 15 years. I still wake up tired. I sleep 4 hours nightly. I've lost 42 pounds on keto. I still need my CPAP. Should more weight loss help cure my sleep apnea? I'm 5 foot even and 160 pounds.
5 foot, 160. Maybe you can not need the CPAP at some point. And the key word there is maybe, okay? I have seen some very, very, very slender people who still need CPAP. A lot of it is how you're genetically made here, how floppy and loose your skin. Definitely having fatty tongue, and I've got a YouTube video about sleep apnea that you can check out and learn more. But having fatty tongue increases your risk of sleep apnea, and eating high carb gives you fatty tongue, just like it gives you fatty liver. It also, you hold fat in your neck, so there's more tissue to fall down into your airway when you relax during sleep. But some people, even though they're very slender, they still have loose enough tissue that it still falls back and they have sleep apnea. So my answer is a firm maybe. You won't need the CPAP anymore, but maybe you'll just get to turn down your settings some. Either way is a victory.
Boo boo bang bang.
Boo boo.
Wants to know, is there any downside to eating lots of turtles, mussels, and frogs because I love the Tennessee River diet?
No, absolutely. Eat them up. Now, I would worry about what's upstream from you in the Tennessee River. That would be your only cause for concern. So if you're downstream from DuPont or, Monsanto, then you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice at that point. But otherwise, that river diet is awesome. Just think about it. 10,000 years ago, Indians living right where you lived, what do you think they lived on? They lived on the river, just like you're doing. So when you take the chemicals out of the equation, I think it's a pretty darn good diet.
Ed says, my issue with CRNV is constipation and acid feces. It hurts no matter the size. My foods are only eggs, red meat, chicken, turkey, cheese.
We talked about
a maximum
this already,
amount of 50 grams of cheese per day and butter. What?
That sounds like the same.
It's not.
Yeah, so go see your doctor. If you're having acid poop, go see your doctor. Yeah, 100%. There's probably something else going on. It's probably not your diet.
Healthy says, do you still believe that fat and protein get used by the body for cells, etc., before getting burned for calories?
It depends on what your body needs. If your body needs energy right then, it's going to burn the fat preferentially for energy. But if you don't need the energy right now, you're going to build cells and tissues with the fat and the protein. You have to really get low down on the nutrition ladder before you start burning protein for energy. That's a hard thing. Your body can do it, but it prefers not to do that. It much prefers to burn fat if you'll eat it. It can burn carbohydrates if you refuse to eat fat, but fat and protein are what your body is built of, and then the fat's going to provide you with the vast majority of your energy needs.
Bethany, I'm starting carnivore. I have over 50 pounds to lose, so I'm afraid I'll get bored. I need a pep talk. Here's the best thing for you to do. If you're afraid you're going to get bored, get a cookbook. Maria Emmerich has an entire carnivore cookbook.
Yep.
Get that. That way you have options. But until telling you, the longer you give it, the less that will be an issue, because you'll just want a hamburger or a steak or bacon and eggs, and you won't need a recipe because everything you eat is super, super simple.
Yep. Right now, you're in the habit of eating a variety of foods. What your body really wants is nutrient-dense foods. That's what your body wants. And so once you've given into that need that your body has and broke the habit of, oh, I've got to eat a rainbow, I've got to eat this large variety, I'm so bored. I mean, part of this is just becoming more mature as an adult. You need to eat the best foods for your body, whether you're bored or not, right? So, and Neisha's exactly right. Now, when's the last time you heard me complain that all we got in the fridge is beef and pork? Never. Yeah, like literally, if I'm hungry, I will say, yes, I'll have some beef. There's never a time when I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry, but I just don't want,
It's pretty common for anyone who has done meat-based or carnivore. If you ask them that if they've done it over a year and you're like, are you bored? They're like, of steak?
No, it's a treat every single time, I promise.
So we're not making that up. That's like pretty much every carnivore that's done this a long time. It's just, that's how we feel about it. It's not that boring.
No, it's a treat every time.
Except for at Christmas. Then we mix it up a little. Amber, should a heavier person start low-fat keto first?
No, you're not going to have nearly the results if you do that. And so you still believe that eating fat will make you fat, or that eating fat will cause you not to lose fat. And that's not true at all. I've got multiple videos on this YouTube channel about how to lose 50 pounds. One's called Lose 50 Pounds Pretty Fast or something. I can't remember the title, but the more fat and protein you eat and the less carbohydrates you eat, you're going to lose more weight. Now, if you want to eat just pure protein and just live on chicken breast, that'll probably work, but I don't think that's going to be a very enjoyable, sustainable diet. This diet works best when you mix your fat and protein together, because you're going to be more satiated, you're going to be happier, and you're going to lose the weight.
I can't get past the texture of animal fat. What can I add to a fillet for added fat? So you don't like butter either?
Yeah, butter. Yeah.
If you don't like butter, I mean, that's like...
Yep. Also, I put egg yolks. I'll crack an egg and just get the raw yolk. And if you don't want to do that, you can mix that half and half with 0-carb mustard, and then it just tastes like mustard. You can't even taste the yolk in there, but then you just bumped your fat up.
You can also make hollandaise sauce fairly easily.
Alfredo
sauce is just cream and Parmesan cheese and garlic. So
yep.
Yeah, but that's a lot of dairy, which messes with some people. Alexander, best food you can recommend to get clear skin and be healthy?
So if you have acne or any kind of skin breakouts, you got to get rid of all the sugar. You got to get rid of all the grains. You got to get rid of all the vegetable oils, and you got to get rid of the liquid dairy. Like anything that's half and half or less fat, you got to get rid of all that. And for 90% of people, that's going to give them a 90% improvement in the quality of their skin. And after you've done those 4 steps for 3 months, if you're still not happy with the quality of your skin, then the carnivore diet is what you need.
Does going carnivore, just hit low power mode. Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't mess us up if I do that? Okay.
Does going carnivore or keto raise?
Some people, yeah. Some people will notice that their body temp's a half a degree higher, and that's because it increases your metabolic rate.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us
Absolutely.
tonight. Sorry that the first half sucked, but, you know, for those of you who hung out with us for the long run, guess what? It got better.
Yeah.
So,
and I promise within a month, we're going to have the most beautiful internet you've ever seen in your life. You're going to be able to see my pores, of my pores.
Promises. But seriously, it should be great.
Yeah. Thanks so much to our patrons on patreon.com. You guys are the wind beneath our wings in our keto family, and we do love you and we do mean it. And we'll be back next Monday. Go ahead and mark your calendars now, and remind your mama and Granny Berry to join us next Monday at 7 p.m.
And go subscribe to my channel for what I eat in a day videos and recipes.
Yeah, you're going to post the one about the
nachos. Going up right now.
Keto nachos.
Yep.
I love it. Go check her channel out.
Neisha loves it.
Neisha loves it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.